the legal case connected to the passing of political commentator Charlie Kirk has entered another significant chapter, and the latest courtroom update is drawing widespread attention across the country. As new developments emerge, many people are asking the same question: what happens next? While investigators and attorneys continue preparing for future court proceedings, one of the biggest issues remains unchanged. Prosecutors have confirmed they are continuing to pursue the highest possible legal penalty allowed under state law, making this one of the most closely watched legal cases in recent months. Charlie Kirk passed away following a targeted incident earlier this year, a tragedy that shocked supporters, colleagues, and many across the political spectrum. In the weeks that followed, law enforcement agencies launched an extensive investigation, gathering evidence, interviewing witnesses, and reconstructing the events leading up to that day. Since then, the case has steadily moved through the legal system, with each hearing bringing new public interest and renewed discussion about how the proceedings may unfold. The latest court filing has now confirmed that prosecutors are not changing their position regarding sentencing. Despite ongoing legal arguments from both sides, officials continue to seek the most severe punishment available if a conviction is ultimately secured. Legal experts say this decision signals that prosecutors believe the evidence presented during the upcoming trial will support that request, although the final outcome will depend entirely on the court, and if applicable, the jury. As the case moves forward, defense attorneys are also preparing their strategy. Like any major criminal proceeding, both sides are expected to challenge evidence, question witness testimony, and present competing arguments throughout the trial process. Legal analysts point out that these pretrial motions are a normal part of complex cases and should not be interpreted as indications of how the final verdict will turn out. One reason this case has attracted such widespread attention is Charlie Kirk's public profile. Over the years, he built a large following through his political commentary, public speaking, and leadership activities. Supporters remember him as someone passionate about discussing public policy and encouraging civic engagement, while critics often disagreed with his viewpoints. Even so, many observers have emphasized that the legal process should remain focused on the facts presented in court, rather than political opinions. Following the announcement that prosecutors would continue pursuing the maximum legal penalty, reactions quickly appeared across social media. Some individuals expressed support for the prosecution's decision, believing the seriousness of the allegations warrants the strongest available sentence if guilt is proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Others urged patience, reminding the public that everyone involved in the case is entitled to due process, and that the legal system is designed to carefully examine all available evidence before reaching a conclusion. Legal scholars have also weighed in, explaining that cases involving requests for the highest possible sentence often involve lengthy proceedings. Before any final decision is reached, courts typically address numerous procedural matters, including evidence reviews, expert testimony, jury selection, and pretrial hearings. Because of these requirements, the case could continue for an extended period before reaching its conclusion. Meanwhile, Charlie Kirk's family has largely remained focused on remembering his life, rather than commenting extensively on the legal process. In previous public statements, loved ones thanked supporters for their continued prayers and encouragement while asking for privacy during an incredibly difficult time. Friends and colleagues have similarly chosen to emphasize his legacy, recalling his dedication to public discussion, education, and the relationships he built throughout his career. Many supporters continue honoring his memory through community events, scholarship initiatives, and online tributes celebrating the impact he had on their lives. Those efforts reflect a broader desire among family and friends to ensure that conversations surrounding Charlie Kirk are not limited solely to courtroom developments, but also include the work, ideas, and personal relationships that defined much of his life. The case has also prompted broader conversations about the criminal justice system and how high-profile cases are handled in the public eye. Legal experts frequently caution against drawing conclusions based on early reports or social media discussions, noting that courtroom proceedings often reveal important details that are unavailable during the initial stages of an investigation. They encourage the public to rely on official court filings and verified reporting as the case progresses. As future hearings approach, attorneys on both sides are expected to continue filing motions addressing evidence, witness testimony, and procedural issues. Each of these hearings represents another important step before the trial itself begins. Observers say these developments, while sometimes technical, can significantly influence how the case is ultimately presented in court. Public interest is also likely to remain high because of the national attention the case has already received. News organizations continue following each legal update, while commentators from various perspectives analyze what each new filing may mean for the months ahead. Even so, many legal professionals stress that speculation outside the courtroom should never replace the evidence evaluated during formal judicial proceedings. For now, one fact remains clear. Prosecutors have confirmed they are continuing to seek the most severe sentence permitted under applicable law, and that position has not changed despite ongoing legal challenges. Whether that request is ultimately granted will depend on the evidence presented, the legal arguments made by both sides, and the decisions reached by the court after the judicial process has been completed. As the nation watches this closely followed case continue to unfold, many people are hoping that the legal proceedings will provide clarity, accountability, and a fair resolution based entirely on the facts. While opinions may differ regarding the issues surrounding the case, the courtroom remains the place where those questions will ultimately be addressed. Until then, the focus remains on the legal process itself, one hearing at a time, one motion at a time, and one step closer to a conclusion that will undoubtedly receive national attention. Whatever the final outcome may be, it will come only after the judicial system has completed its work, ensuring that every stage of the proceedings is carried out according to the rule of law and the standards of due process.